What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Kuriboh deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that's based around the very first hand trap ever created, Kuriboh. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Kuriboh. This card is an extremely nostalgic card that's a key card in all of our combos, with the ability that during the damage calculation, if your opponent's monster attacks, quick effect, you can discard this card and you take no battle damage from that battle, which is an amazing ability to prevent yourself from getting OTK'd, but it's also super nostalgic to play this card. We then play one each of all of the Kuriboh brothers, starting off with a single copy of Kuriboh, a single copy of Kuriboh, a single copy of Kuriboh, and a single copy of Kuriboh. These cards are all very important in the deck for your copy of Babylon, and they're really good in the deck to be able to use their copy of 5-star Twilight. We then play a single copy of Kuriboh. This card is amazing as a 1-of in the build with the ability that at the end of the battle phase, you can discard this card to target a monster in the graveyard that was destroyed by battle and send there this turn and special summon it. Also, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can actually banish this card in the graveyard and then target any number of Kuriboh monsters in the graveyard and special summon them, which is great to swarm the board. We then play 3 copies of Detonating Kuriboh. Detonating Kuriboh is great as an extender in the deck, and this card is also awesome because it's a negate. With the ability, if a Kuriboh monster card is on the field, you can special summon this card from the hand. And when an opponent's monster activates its effect on the field, quick effect, you can equip this card you control to that opponent's monster with the effect that the equipped monster has its effects negated, which is so cool. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Astral Kuriboh. This card is great because you can actually summon this card to your side of the field as a level 5 monster. And this card has the ability you can actually reveal a number XZ monster in your extract and then special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's level becomes the revealed monster's rank. Meaning you can actually summon this card as a level 5 monster by revealing a copy of Volcasaurus in the extract to be able to instantly bring this card as a level 5 monster so we can use 5-star Twilight with this card. We then play 2 copies of Babylon. Babylon is definitely a 2-of in the build, and it's actually our main deck boss monster. With the ability, this card gains 300 attack and defense for each Kuriboh monster you control and in your graveyard. And you only use 1 of the following effects card per turn, and only once that turn. And if you have more monsters in your graveyard than your opponent does, you can special summon this card from your hand, and also during your main or battle phase, you can actually return this card back to the hand, and if you do, special summon all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers to your side of the field, which is such a cool ability to instantly turn this card back into the 5 Kuriboh brothers. We then play 3 copies of Red-Haired Hasty Horse. This card is awesome to get a level 5 monster on our side of the field, as if you have a column that actually has no cards in it, you can special summon this card from your hand and attack switch into a zone in that column, which is a great ability to instantly bring this card out to your side of the field, so we can actually use 5-star Twilight so we can go in for our plays. We then play 2 copies of Skilled Brown Magician. This card is really cool as a 2-of in the deck because each time a spell card is activated, you can place a spell counter on this card when it resolves, maximum of 3. You can also remove a spell counter from this card and then activate one of these effects to either make this card gain 15 or attack and increase its level by 1, making this card a level 5 monster for 5-star Twilight, or add a Kuriboh monster or multiply from your deck or graveyard to your hand, setting up one of our other power plays. We then play 3 copies of Magician Souls. Souls is really good in the deck to help us dig into the deck for our copies of 5-star Twilight or a copy of Multiply. With the ability, you can actually send up to 2 spells and traps from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then draw that many cards, and if this card's in the hand, you can send a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from the deck to the graveyard to special summon this card. We then play 3 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is really good as a 3-of in the build because this card is an awesome effect that you can reveal this card in your hand and then add a copy of a Dark Magician or a non-ritual monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand. Meaning you can use this card to instantly grab our copy of Souls, then place this card back on top of the deck, which is a really cool ability. We then also play 2 copies of Buno the Dawn's Light. Buno is really cool as a 2 on the deck to help us summon out a copy of Lucy, and this card has a really cool ability that monsters in your leftmost or rightmost main monster zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, if this card is in your hand, you can target a Fiend effect monster you control, negate its effects, and if you do, special summon this card from the hand. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can actually add Immunity in the Sky from your deck to your hand, which is a great ability to be able to use to instantly step into a copy of Lucy, which is such a cool effect. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 1-of in the build to basically just stop our opponent's hand traps when we're going in for all of our plays. We'll make a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is awesome in the deck to instantly summon out our copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict to basically give us another copy of Called by the Grave to stop our opponent's hand traps. We'll make a single copy of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is amazing in this deck as a 1-of because this card has the ability to either let us draw 2 cards, take control of an opponent's monster, or look at our opponent's hand and choose a card from it and shuffle it into the deck. And lay a single copy of 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is awesome to help us bring the exact Kuriboh monster we want to our side of the field. And lay a single copy of Mutiny in the Sky. Mutiny in the Sky is such a powerful 1-of in the deck. This card has the ability you can actually fusion summon a Fiend or a Fairy fusion monster from your X deck by shuffling Fiend and or Fairy monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material, which is a great ability to help us basically recycle some of our resources so we can step into a copy of Lucy. This card also has a really cool effect that if this card is in your graveyard, you can send a Fiend or a Fairy monster from your hand or face from field to the graveyard to add this card back to your hand, which is a pretty cool effect. We made a single copy of Ghost Trick Shot. Ghost Trick Shot is really cool, so we can actually summon out our copy of F-Zero. As this card is able to special summon a Ghost Trick monster from the hand or the graveyard, then you have the ability to change one face down Ghost Trick monster you control to face up attack position. But you're basically just using this card to bring back your copy of Dullahan to your side of the field, so you can go in for another copy of Angel of Mischief, and then use 2 copies of Angel of Mischief to step into your copy of your F-Zero, so you can then step into your copy of Draco Future, which is so cool, establishing an awesome boss monster on the field. Plus, this card is searchable off your copy of Angel of Mischief, which is so cool. We then play 3 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust is really cool as a 3-of in the deck. This card actually helps us instantly get to basically any of our powerhouse spells. It can also help us get to our copy of 5-Star Twilight, which is so cool. We then play 3 copies of 5-Star Twilight. This card is one of the powerhouse spells of the deck, with the ability that if the only monster you control is one level 5 monster, you can tribute that monster to special summon all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but they cannot be tributed for a tribute summon, which is an amazing ability to instantly bring out all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers to your side of the field, so you can basically step into your copy of Babylon, which is so cool. We then play 3 copies of the Flute of Summoning Kuriboh. Flute of Summoning Kuriboh is great because this card lets you take a copy of Kuriboh from the deck and either add it to your hand or instantly special summon it to your side of the field, which is an amazing effect. We then play 3 copies of Multiply. Multiply is amazing in this build because you just tribute a copy of Kuriboh on your side of the field and then special summon as many copies of Kuriboh tokens as possible to your side of the field that are Fiend, Dark, level 1, 300 attack, and 200 defense, and they cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is great as a 3-of just to break your opponent's board because this card can negate the effects of your opponent's monsters and half their attack points, which is so cool. This card is an amazing 3-of in the build and super cool to play in the deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So before we get into the extra deck, guys, I want to give you guys a quick note. Make sure that you do have tokens when you are playing this deck because you are going to need them for your copy of Multiply. And these cards are just so important for the build to be able to have basically 5 Kuriboh tokens so you can instantly bring out your copies of your Kuriboh tokens to your side of the field off of Multiply. You can use any tokens in the entire game, but I really like these Kuriboh tokens. So let's get into the extra deck, guys. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with one of our new boss monsters, Lucy the Dusk's Dark. This card is amazing to be able to summon out to your side of the field, as this card requires 3 Fiend and/or Fairy monsters in the graveyard to be able to summon, which is always going to be summoned out by your copy of Mutiny in the Sky. But this card is either monsters in your leftmost or rightmost main monster zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card also has a really cool ability. You can actually target a card that your opponent controls and then send a Fiend or a Fairy monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy that card. And if another card you control is destroyed by card effect, you can actually target a card on the field and destroy it, which is a pretty cool effect. We lay a single copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict. This card is our instant fusion target that basically just summons it out to our side of the field to prevent our opponent from using hand traps, because this card is actually a monster negate. We lay a single copy of Ghost Streak Dullahan. Dullahan is great to be able to summon out to your side of the field, so you can instantly put a copy of Angel of Mischief on top of this card and then search out your copy of Ghost Streak Shot. We then play 2 copies of Angel of Mischief. Angel of Mischief is very important in the deck as a 2/0 because this card has an awesome effect that you can actually make this card on top of any Ghost Trick XZ monster besides a copy of Angel of Mischief. This card also has a really cool ability. You can detach a material on this card to add a Ghost Trick Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand, which is going to be your copy of Ghost Trick Shot, which is amazing to be able to grab because you're going to detach your copy of Dullahan, grab Ghost Trick Shot, activate it, and then bring back your copy of Dullahan to your side of the field, so you make a second copy of Angel of Mischief, so you can overlay both copies of Angel of Mischief into a copy of F-Zero, and then into a copy of Utopic Draco Future. This card is so cool to be able to summon the deck, as this card is actually a monster game, and has a really cool ability, cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and once returned when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can detach a material on this card to negate the activation. Then, if the monster is still in the field, you get to take control of it, which is a really cool ability. Lay a single copy of number 61, Volcasaurus. Volcasaurus is very important in the deck as a 1/0 to basically just use this card in the build with your copy of Astral Kuriboh to be able to reveal you never summon this card in the deck. We lay a single copy of Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax. It's very easy to link climb into this card, and it's an awesome 1/0 in the build because if you summon out this card using IP Masquerena, it's basically invincible. We then made a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is great to be able to summon the deck because this card comes out absolutely massive and pop multiple cards on the field. We made a single copy of Selene. Selene is great as a 1/0 as well to basically just help you climb into a copy of Access Code. We made a single copy of the Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer is great to help you climb to your copy of Avramax or your copy of Access Code, which is so cool. I made a single copy of SP. SP is awesome in the deck. Basically, use this card as a double interruption. I made a single copy of IP. IP is amazing to make your copy of Avramax because it'll basically make your copy of Avramax invincible when it comes out to your side of the field. We made a single copy of Relinquished Anima. Relinquished Anima is great to be able to play in the decks. We're playing so many different level 1s in this build. This card is so cool because it helps you gobble up your opponent's monsters. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is so fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Kuriboh deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially now that we have Lucy the Dusk's Dark, which is such a cool card to be able to play in this deck. And I absolutely love this build. Being able to just summon it out to your side of the field is actually insane, and it's such a nostalgic deck. So, that's going to do this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.